Hi, Joe Tramontano here about drum theory again, and this time I'm going to go into two songs that are very unique, that can really broaden your style of playing, and they can broaden your perspective, both from Led Zeppelin, one of which is the Crunge, and the other is Fool in the Rain. The Crunge kind of tickled my brain. Any musician, it would tickle their brain, even though I don't think they would find it very pleasurable. But I scanned an image of the drum tablature that I'm going to show momentarily. It's basically a 9/8 count. You know, that's why it's very fast. They're coming in on the count of 6 in the beginning. And then during the chorus, it's 3 measures of 4, a measure of 9. 3 measures of 4 again, then a measure of 9. Then 3 measures of 4, a measure of 5, going back into the 9 count. All right? Now, if you look, you're basically going to see, I'm going to show you the basic beat on this image.
Okay, if you look at this very carefully, you'll find open circles on the top of certain parts of the beat, on top of the notes. He comes in on the count of 6. Now, an open circle, as I may have said before, represents an open hi-hat. On the bottom, you have the bass drum, in conjunction with the hi-hat along with the snare, which is in the middle. As you play it, remember, if you look on this line, the open hi-hat comes around the upbeat of 1, around the count of either 5 or 6, and then again on the upbeat of 9. You got to start out slowly, but the great thing about this particular beat is that nothing is really just taking up too much at one particular point of one part of your body. Everything's distributed evenly between your left hand, your right hand, your left foot, and your right foot. You got to take your time, but once you understand that, all you have to do is just go at it, try it again and again until you finally get comfortable. The idea is to get a relaxed feel for the beat.
Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the chorus on this image.
All right, now here's the chorus of the song, okay? It's 3 measures of 4 followed by a 9/8 count, and then 3 measures of 4 followed by a 5/8 count, going back into the 9/8 count for the verses for the song. Now, the numbers up top signify how many times you do each part of the chorus, okay? Above the 9/8 count, you see 1, 2. That means that you'll play the 3 measures of 4 followed by the 9 twice. And then after that, you'll play one more group of 3 measures of 4 followed by a 5/8 count, going into the 9/8 count, going back to the usual rhythm that you heard in the beginning of the song. Take your time with it and just piece it together and listen to the song and count to it. And that's probably the best way that you can learn that part of the song.
Okay, now the next song is Fool in the Rain, which I love that song. Hearing it as a kid, it was always played on the radio. It was a big hit. It was a major hit. It was on their last album, In Through the Outdoor. It's funny. I mean, a side note is, I mean, my mother actually had the 8-track tape of that. You know, she's driving the caddy around. She used to take us to school. She popped that in there, you know, and yeah, I can always remember, you know, all the songs in particular, but that was pretty interesting, that song, you know, because it was so unlike what you would expect from a band like Led Zeppelin. I mean, they did play odd meters. They played a lot of odd timing. I mean, Black Dog is an odd timing song, 5/8, 4, whatever, you know. But with Fool in the Rain, I actually downloaded an image of the basic count, okay, the groove of what it is. It's a 4 count, and it's basically triplets with a rest in the middle.
Okay, now it's basically a 4-quarter count, believe it or not. I never knew that. And you count it and play it in a way that there rests in the middle of the triplets at very odd intervals in the middle of the triplets. So it's usually best to listen to the song, but when you see it like this, you'll see where everything comes. It's actually a lot more simple than you realize.
Now, the other component of it is when they go into the calypso part of it on the snare. He hits the snare drum and he uses accents with 16th notes, okay? And, you know, basically, it's 16th notes that are accented. They're very, very simple. And it's particularly fun to do and to learn. You know, you basically play it straight. I actually have an image that I'm going to show now of just exactly what's going on.
Now, the 16th notes are pretty easy to figure out, and it's good to learn. He's basically playing quarter notes on the bass drum along with the hi-hat simultaneously, and he's accenting it between the left and the right hand on the snare. And then he changes the accent to doubles toward the latter part of the end of that particular calypso part of the song until he goes into 16 triplets, and then he blasts back into the beat.
Okay, now there's a lot of stuff going on there. It encompasses a lot of different genres, a lot of different styles, all in one. Again, the song was a major hit, and I really think that that's a very good song, not only to learn, but when it comes to audience participation, if you play a diverse amount of music, that's a good song to learn. You know, you can really get people up out of their chairs with that one. I really think so, if you could play it well. You know, in the earlier years, I remember going to a lot of weddings, you know, especially in the Bronx. You know, you see these bands, when people use bands for weddings, And they were so entertaining, you know, because they would actually play these songs either that people would really get into, and they would all get up and dance or whatever, because it's a festive occasion, you know. And even when you play out, you know, you want it to be festive, you know, you want it to be bright, you know, and that's a bright song, you know, it really is. It's a great song. And, you know, hopefully I probably shed some light on how to play it for anybody that was curious on how to play it and who just happened to click on this video. Otherwise, be well. I hope to see you next time.